This is Howard Solomon of Network World Canada. At the recent Canadian Telecom Summit in Toronto, service providers and suppliers got some insight into recent industry trends over 3 days. Conference co-founder and telecom consultant Mark Goldberg started by talking about the state of the industry.
Well, among the things that we talked about in the opening remarks were that folks interpret different studies of the telecommunications market in different ways, and we tend to be a little bit more optimistic than other commentators in taking a look, for example, at the OECD statistics that first of all show Canada as the leader of all G8 countries in broadband penetration. And most importantly, what the OECD studies show is the even level of competition between both major types of facilities-based broadband, cable and DSL. And Canada is actually the world leader in the percentage of homes that have cable-based broadband. And so what that means is that Canadian consumers, unlike almost any other market in the world, have a choice of two different sets of wires coming into their home to provide them with service. And I think that's really important for people to consider in terms of understanding the actual state of our telecom market.
Among the presenters at a session on the broadband connected home was Cisco Canada President Nitin Kawali, who described the opportunities for service providers.
Hi, I'm Nitin Kawali, President of Cisco Canada. And what I spoke about at the conference was about connected life. And connected life is that personalized service that we need, regardless whether we're at home or at business or mobile, to drive our productivity up. And the key message here really is it's an unprecedented opportunity for service providers to transform themselves into experience providers and provide us that connected life while driving large revenue opportunities for themselves. And so you might ask, why now? Why the connected life? Well, if you think about it, there are four major things that are occurring, pillars, if you will. You have a huge proliferation of digital media in the home. You have the home going to IP. The way enterprises and service providers converge around IP, and this is something that Cisco will help transform, will do the exact same thing in the home for IP. And current conservative forecasts say that there will be 32 billion connected IP devices in the home. We also have the cost of supporting customers going up, and video is going to be the game changer, where 90% of all traffic will be video by 2013. So as we get to the connected life, we've got to go through a transition from the connected home to media-enabled home, which is really for entertainment, and then a video experience, a rich immersive experience, so that we have visual networking. So as we try and reach the connected home, we have to go through those three transition phases as a foundation. But as we get to connected life, who's going to provide this for us? In the traditional environment, it was kind of one supplier, a broadcast. But as we get to the connected life, we have an opportunity to have various people supply this to us. Clearly the service providers have an edge to become that experience providers because they have the first mover advantage because they own the connectivity into the home. But there's still an opportunity for classical over-the-top players like Google and Yahoo to do this, but also content providers.
The conference theme was Communications Industries in Flux. I asked conference co-founder Michael Sohn of NBI Michael Sohn Associates about the biggest challenge companies face.
I think the biggest challenge is to hang on to talent. There is, the industry can only prosper from a technology development, from a service development standpoint when there are good people there working on bringing value to business users and to consumers. And Canada's telecommunications industry has always benefited from some of the brightest minds in the world. And I think that you always have to, not that there's a threat that that's going to disappear, but I think we can't take it for granted, and we have to be vigilant to make sure that we retain that top talent and to nurture that top talent. And I know that there's always the gnashing of teeth concerning are we turning out enough engineering students from our universities that are coming out with the requisite education, that are being incented to stay in Canada and in the telecom and IT space to continue to ensure that the industry flourishes.